do you have your ideas in your minds of what I told you guys to talk about or to think about?
Uh, yeah. I already gave you two of them.
Right, and you think you have a third one in your brain?
Yes.
Okay, and I have one for Cullen, and I guess we'll just have to do two because I have one made up for him, and Raven has hers written down as well. But I'm sure we'll work through this pretty well. So this is going to be like a filler episode where you got well, I wouldn't say that. It's more of like a plot and filler episode. Like at level 3 you get to go into like your subclass, and this will be you guys leveling up and learning about that subclass.
All right.
And these events that we've talked about and I have taken some DM discretions into. I've worked with your ideas and came up with like a story for it. So I'm excited to share with you what I've come up with. So I want to start with Cullen whenever he's around.
Time to begin.
I'm here.
All right. Are you on push to talk?
Yes.
Okay. So it's like midday and you're going through the woods and you have been on the trail of like a group of deer for like a couple hours now. You've come to a clearing and you see a big uh like what a stag like standing about 10, 15 feet ahead of you, and you're crouched beneath a bush or behind a bush, and instead of what you would think you would do would be to like reach for your weapon, instead you just lunge forward and you tear into the flesh of the stag and rip it open. And just as you do that, you jolt awake from your horrible dream and you see your husband, Reese, standing on the bedside with his arm bleeding.
What happened?
Uh, It's you've been moving around in your sleep again.
What?
Oh, it's nothing. Let's go. Let's get ready for the day. And he tries to hide it before you really notice,
You
but
look
it's kind of
injured.
like leaking.
What happened? You look injured.
um, he says, "Yeah, you scratched me."
I scratched you? I
He
don't
he
remember doing
looks
that.
at you like kind of hesitantly, like, "Yeah." He shows you the wound, and it's a stream of blood like rolls down his arm. He says,
I
I'm gonna go bandage this up."
I look at my fingers. I'm like, how did I do that?
You look at your fingertips and you see some red. You see his blood on your fingertips, just a little bit.
I'm very concerned.
Do you accompany him to help him at all?
Yes.
Okay. You know where all the med kit is, so you go and help him wrap up his wound. And in the meantime, he's like, "It seems something's been bothering you lately."
I'm having these dreams, and I don't know. I can't explain them.
Do you uh you want to talk about it?
I don't know what to talk about. It's very confusing. I don't know what to do.
Maybe uh maybe we can. No. He looks off to the side. He's like, "No. We'll keep this
What,
down low, I guess. We can figure this out ourselves."
what are you thinking?
Hmm. I was thinking maybe we can get some expert help. Someone can maybe try to understand your dreams? If you can remember them, at least we can figure out what's going on.
Who?
He looks over to like his what? Well, he's a scientist, or is he a historian?
He's a historian.
He looks over to a picture on the wall of him and a shorter, like about half his size halfling, handing him a degree, and the halfling is wearing like some spectacles, just hanging on the bridge of his nose, and he's like shaking the hand of Reese as he's handing this degree over to him. And he looks over at the picture. He says, "Maybe my old mentor could help."
If you think so, then I'd be willing to talk to him.
I'll give him a call. And he steps. You just finished wrapping up his bandage, and he steps off to contact his mentor. So that'll be that. Josh,
Yes.
Aelion. You're walking around the Makers District of Siskin, and you see a tent, like how would I say? It's not a tent. It's more of like a pop up
Tarp.
teepee, basically, with
Right.
some tapestries and a thin line of smoke coming from or billowing from the top. And inside, it just kind of calls to you. You haven't seen this here before. It's
Does it
tarp, as you will, is purple and has symbols of moons and stars.
look like it's like from here, or does it look foreign?
Okay, well, I guess the purple kind of gives it. It's more of a foreign. It's not from around these parts,
Yeah, I'll
but
go in.
it's really close to where you live.
And it wasn't here before.
No, it's new. It's just kind of like sticks out like a sore thumb against the city landscape.
Right. Yeah, I'll go in.
You step inside and you see uh, a hooded figure sitting behind a crystal ball. And you step inside.
Said I go in.
The scent of the incense assaults your nose as you pull back
Assaults.
as you pull back the beaded curtain.
Sick.
And they say, sit, please."
I do so.
You just do what people ask now.
I mean, this guy seems cool.
Mm. They hold their hands out to you, like their palms are facing upwards, as if he's trying to get you to hold his hands.
Oh, all right. I gently take his hand.
And he pulls you close. He like yanks you down close
Oof.
to the crystal ball, and you can just like kind of see your reflection in it. But you're sitting
Nice.
now, and he tells you to close your eyes. He's like, "Close your eyes."
Close them.
You feel weightless, like the scent from the incense just kind of dissipates, and it almost smells like a fresh
Yo, I'm
breeze.
turned off that purple shit.
It smells like a fresh post rain day, and you see a pitch black room. No, it doesn't even feel like a room. It just feels like you're outside and it's pitch black. You look down at your feet and nothing beneath you seems to be holding you up. It's all just shadows.
Zoinks.
And then you see just beyond, almost like a a mirage. You almost see like a mirage. You see three bubbles off in the distance, just like ominously floating in the sky. And one by one, they start to pop. And just
How
below,
loud is it?
it's like, um, hmm, not loud. It doesn't hurt your ears to see these bubbles pop, but as you see them pop, the mist from the bubbles falls down to what looks like ground, and from there remains three pillars start to rise from the abyss of the abyss. Inside the pillars, you approach the pillars, and in between, on like a pedestal, is a box. What do you do with the box?
There only one box, or are there three boxes?
It's there. The pillars are massive. They're as big as like coliseums almost.
Right,
And they reach up into the sky that you can just barely make out the tops.
right. But didn't you say there's like a box on one of them?
In the center between all three of the pillars, there's a pedestal
Oh,
that
gotcha.
has a
Okay.
box.
Oh, okay. I approach it.
You look at this box, you can tell from where you're standing that it is made of metal, and a feeling
I want to
overcomes
open it.
you. You feel uncertain.
I
You
want
try
to
to
open
open the
it.
box, but it seems to not have an opening.
Can I
The
investigate it?
Yeah, sure.
I always have to ask because I always forget this. So my investigation is 5. So does that mean I just add 5 to my roll?
Correct.
True. And it's a D20, right?
Correct.
Bet. That is a 13 plus 5,
Nice.
an 18.
Well, you look at the box and it feels old. Like, I don't know how you can feel how something is old, but
I
okay,
can.
it has like dents, and it's rusty, and it's
Worn.
cold, worn. There are no hinges on it, so it has no openings, but you pick it up with ease and it starts to ascend into the sky.
Does it
Um
carry me with it?
no, no, no. You just kind of let it float off into the sky. It's almost as if it were as light as one of
like a
those, like what?
like a feather.
Uh, like a balloon filled with helium,
Gotcha.
but dense as a metal block.
Right.
And you look into the sky and you can make out some stars flickering and blinking and fading out. You count 27 stars.
Wait, hold on. Can I do like investigate of the stars to like divine a message from the stars?
This is your fortune being told to you. So you can try to make it out yourself.
Yeah, I just want to like look at the stars and see if I can like
Okay,
discern
go for
anything
it.
from them. Like if there's like a message written in the stars or something. I don't know. So am I rolling investigation?
Yes.
Ooh, that is a natural 2, so 7.
Oh man. You can. It's very fuzzy. The lights from the 27 stars are blinking and fading out. You can tell that they are in line with each other. Hmm.
I see a little dipper.
Several. Um. Well, let's see. Let me think. 14 on top,
What is
and
it that I'm supposed to learn?
what'd you say?
I was just saying to myself, like, what is it that I'm supposed to learn?
You see the stars in line with each other, 14 on top and 13 below. And they all start to blink out one by one, starting from the top left all the way down to the bottom right. And as that feeling of uncertainty continues to grow as the flickering stars fade, and as the last one fades, you feel the ground beneath you, or what seems to be holding you up just kind of go like jelly and starts to suck you in.
Oh no.
You feel it start to rise up to your like it starts to engulf your feet and legs and slowly up to your chest, and as it starts to reach your neck,
Oh man.
a hand
Spooky.
a hand reaches down from what seems to be the heavens. What do you do?
I take the hand.
And as you reach for the hand, the vision starts to shatter as if you were looking into a mirror, and the crystal ball that you were once sitting in front of you has been cracked, and the hooded figure is gone.
Damn, that was all me. He wasn't even doing anything. Wow. Alright, well, I mean, if he's gone, I'm gonna like search around in this tent, see if there's anything cool.
Go ahead and make a check or something.
Would it be investigation?
You want to do
Or
another? Is that your best
or
one?
is it stealth? I don't know.
Go ahead, make a investigation.
11.
You look around the room and notice that everything that was once like foreign and odd had been an illusion to you. It's all just like a wooden table with some like cheaply lit candles off to the side. And you step outside of the tent and look back and notice that it's actually just like a, a homeless man's shelter, like cardboard box house.
What was I tripping on?
Were you tripping? What is this?
I didn't. I don't think I got lit this morning.
Saffron wanders throughout the city. They stand at the train station, looking at the place where Jimmy and Ivran had met their demise. The path of the train as clean as when they first arrived. A mother and her child walk by, hurriedly. The children point and giggle as their mother pushes them along. Saffron enters the train and sits for what seems like hours, until a conductor comes by to move them off the train. Just as Saffron exits the train, a thin spray of water rains down from the sprinkler system above. Saffron frantically tries to wipe it off, but more comes to take its place. She finds a spot in an alley to hide and takes refuge. A group of men walk by and see Saffron in the alley. One tells the group to stop and check it out. A fat, jolly man comes over to see. Or, a fat, jolly Goliath comes over to see a robot and is surprised. He asks, "Are you here all alone?"
Yeah.
He extends a hand and Saffron takes it. The Goliath takes Saffron to a slum. He says, it's not a lot, but the housing they give is free and clean, for the most part." He brings you up to the doors of the slum and asks if you would like to come inside.
Yeah.
And you guys step inside. All right, back to Cullen. Reese comes back from calling his mentor. He sits down next to you and he begins to say, "I think uh, my teacher says that he will be free in a few hours. Would you would you like to go get some lunch before then?"
Yeah.
Okay. Let me get my things. He goes to get ready for to head out. He gets Since you guys did just wait, he kind of like freshens up and takes a shower and whatnot. Do you do anything in the meantime, or
No.
Reese comes back and he's dressed in his weekday attire. He's like a business suit, right? Or like what? How do you see Reese dressed?
Never really thought about it.
He's wearing a suit.
He's wearing clothing that he wears.
He's wearing his a common suit, and he brushes your hand with his wounded hand, so you can or he tries to grab your hand with his wounded hand, but he grabs it weakly with his wounded hand.
Okay.
And you guys step out the door, and as you guys are walking down the street, he asks, "So, there's a couple places on the way. Any particular restaurant you want to hit up before we meet with my mentor?"
Taco Bell.
Taco Bell.
Or whatever other restaurants are on the way, I don't know.
What would be a good a fantasy restaurant? A fantasy Taco Bell.
Playing D&D. What restaurant do you go to? Taco Bell.
Yeah, I don't know what restaurants are on the way, so I can't really tell you.
Taco Bell is canon in this world.
Taco Bell is now. But no, they have to have it like a special menu. Like they have to have like a crystal infused like Mountain Dew or something.
No, I'm getting the Baja Blast.
That is already crystal
It
infused.
transcends universes.
Fair enough.
All right, so we go to Taco Bell.
He says, "Oh, this place, Taco Bell again? Well, I guess you can get some. You can get a large quantity for a decent price." And he looks off to the side as if to look at a camera.
What?
He says, "Never mind." And you guys walk inside and get your combo meals and sit down. He says, "Well, it's not much, but I guess it is some time to chat. I haven't really had a lot of time since you started working at the mining group or the mining company."
Yeah, it's been a pretty difficult job so far. Almost died a couple times.
Yeah, you came home pretty beat up. What happened? What happened? You didn't really talk about it.
We were attacked by crystal spiders.
As you say, crystal spiders. He kind of like chokes on his burrito, and he's like, "What? Are you okay?"
Yeah, almost died. No, but that was by an elephant. I got run over by an elephant.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what the crystal spiders didn't almost kill me. It was the elephant.
Oh my god! What are they doing to you out there? I thought it was just a mining job.
That's what I thought, but it's not.
Well, maybe somehow the creatures of old Siskin had still been functioning due to the crystal. It's interesting. And he takes out a notebook and he scratches down some notes.
All I know is I am never going out there again.
What?
I'm gonna have to quit.
He looks at you in disbelief. He's like, "Well, if you do that, then we won't be living in where we are for too much longer."
I'll find another job. Anything is better than almost dying to elephants.
He says, "Okay, well, I don't know if there's a phobia for elephants, but spiders, I've heard of that one before."
Yeah, I'm fine with spiders. It's the elephants that are the issue.
There wasn't.
No, it's actually the almost dying that's the issue. Yeah.
Oh, well, we're faced with death every day. He looks off in the distance as if to be poetic, or he kind of like catches you off guard with that, and you remember why you fell in love with him.
Big dork.
You guys finish up eating, and as you're walking, he says, "So I know you don't go on these excursions alone. Did you bring Did you bring anybody with you? Did our neighbor Rose come with you?"
Oh yeah. She died. I
And
think, or it's close to death.
he stops. He stops and looks at you, grabs your hand a little tighter. He says, "Oh," and he sighs. He sighs, looks you in the eyes, and he's like, "Oh, I don't know how her family's taking it.
I don't know either.
I couldn't imagine what it would be like for us and our boys if you were to die.
Yeah, that's why I need to quit.
Well, I think that may be for the better. And you guys continue walking. You guys come up to a university, and I guess like a bell rings, and a bunch of people flood out. A bunch of students, a group of jocks throwing a football on the outside. The foliage it has like several big trees on the outside. Behind them, the school sits. Do you remember what the school's name was?
Me?
Luvana.
Glufon. Is that a real thing?
It is in this situation.
Gluvana University.
That's it. Place
You guys. He says,
first ranked in the nation, actually.
Gluvana has a very high graduate rate.
Yes.
This the sororities are top notch.
Yes. Extremely well resourced. I'm a graduate myself, actually.
Oh, interesting. We can get to that in a bit.
Sure.
So as you guys walk up to the doors, you see the halfling professor step outside, and Reese extends his arms. He says, "Oh, Professor Milo, how good to see you again." And the professor is like, "Yes, very good, good. And you seem hurt. Are you okay?" And as Reese reaches down to give Professor Milo a handshake, he pulls his hand in to examine the wound. To Reese's um, pain, I guess he kind of winces as he pulls his hand close, and I guess that kind of irritates Will. He as he looks over the hand, he says, "Oh, this is interesting. Very, very interesting. Come inside. Come inside. We have much to discuss."
Okay, I go inside.
He as you guys walk through the halls, you come to a research lab, and it's like a um hmm. So Reese was a history student, correct? He has like majors in
He was a professor.
Reese was a professor?
Yeah, his
Oh wow.
PhD
Okay.
or whatever is equivalent in this world.
He's a prodigy.
He's gone through 20 years of teaching, and Professor Milo is still a professor at this school. Um, he says, "Well, it's always good to see another faculty member." And he kind of chuckles as he pours a cup of coffee, and he offers you guys some. Would you like any?
Sure, sounds good.
Okay, and he pours you a cup, and Milo, he's like, "Ah, no tea for me." And you take a sip, and he watches you take a sip out of it, and it's just like bitter and flavorless. Um, you look down into the cup and see that it's basically like paste of ground bean.
But why though?
But why though?
Yeah.
He looks at you, and he's like, so how's the have you been getting any rest lately? Have you been enjoying your new job?
Absolutely not.
Yeah, it's a very popular and uh rewarding position if you can get past the uh poisonous gas.
and the rampaging elephants and man-eating crystal spiders.
Are you saying there's actually life out there?
Yes.
He also takes out a notepad and scribbles it down in his in his book. And he's like, "Life in the gas." Interesting, interesting. And he clicks his pen closed, and he says, wouldn't be so sure it would be a good idea to just leave all this wonderful information unstudied."
Uh, I'm not into studying dangerous creatures. If that's what you're talking about, I don't want to go out there.
He says, "Well, from what it looks like," and he once again quickly grabs Reese's arm and pulls out the wound again, and you kind of like it irritates you to the point where it causes you to um, accidentally rage,
Oh shit!
and you uh, you want to attack him. That's how you feel. Feel like you want to like slap his hand and like rip his hand off from hurting your husband so much.
All right, I do that.
Okay. Just go ahead and make an attack, like a unarmed attack.
Can I grab him?
Sure, you can try.
8 plus my athletics. Oh, I have advantage because I'm raging. So let me roll that again. Okay, so that's 14 plus 5, so 19 to grab him.
You grab the halfling by the arm. It is an illusion. You didn't quite account for that being the case, and you grab the illusion. And Reese looks at you in shock, kind of like he knew he didn't want it to be true, but he looks at you, and what you what you kind of look like is just like a beast, a bestial form. Your eyes have narrowed into yellow slivers, and your hair has gone jagged, or your teeth have gone jagged, and your hair is raggedy. And you look at Reese, and your fingernails grow back to what they originally were. And as you calm down, and you look into him, and like take a breath, and you calm down from your rage, and you you look off to the side and see the halfling standing next to the coffee table, stirring a cup.
All right, I sit down.
It seems in your anger. He says it seems like it's deeply rooted in you that you have this primal urge to be out and one with your natural self. If you were to go out and feed these primal desires, then things like what has happened to Reese will cease to happen.
I have no idea what you're talking about, Doc.
He says if you go out and rage often, then you won't hurt Reese.
I don't know what you're talking about. Primal self? What?
He says, he looks at Reese, he says, I need you to study this as well. If you were to get hurt again, just come to me and I can do something about the pain. And he brushes his hand over the wound, and the bandages fall off and reveal that it's been healed. Reese looks at him while he looks at Milo. Reese looks at Professor Milo, and he's like, "Well, you could have just started with that." And looks back. Reese looks at Will, and is like, "If you, I don't think it's a good idea for you to stop working. I think it seems like you have to."
I need some air. And I storm out.
Okay. You step outside.